Hit record. All right. Welcome to the Team Nourished team call. It is Thursday, August the 6th, and we are ready to go with our team call. So let's see here. Carrie, you're at the top. Can you see the slides? Hooray, hooray. So welcome, welcome. Guys, we're going to go ahead and do a little shout out recognition for the month of July to get us started. I feel like we're like halfway into August, even though we're not, but feels that way right now. But we are going to take a second just to celebrate July because our team had a phenomenal July. So just Success Club points on the board. And remember, Success Club just means 2 points for every one person you helped. If you see an odd number, that's because Beachbody was doing a retention promotion where if you kept people on their supplements, on their Shakeology, on their Energize, on all the things, you earned extra points because of that. So in SC10 plus, myself at SC17, Megan Pickup at SC11, Amanda Harold at SC11, and Carrie Summers at SC10. And just a side note, this is Megan Pickup and Amanda Harold's very first month ever in SC10 plus. So give them 2 thumbs up, give them a high five. Very proud of them, and they earned themselves some paid leads for this month because they are also above Emerald. So congrats, ladies. Super proud of you. SC5 plus, Renee Koth at SC8, Amanda Collison at SC6, and I'm actually want to stop and say how excited I am for her as well. This was her very first month in SC6, and she said she was pushing really hard for that Coach tank. If you've seen, and there's several of us that have it, but it's a white tank top, like a cute little high neck one in blue writing. It says Coach. You get that when you earn SC6 for the very first month of this year. And so she earned that, and she's like, I need that tank top, and she worked hard and got it. Also, Nikki Welch, who should be celebrated as well. We're going to celebrate her a lot actually on this call tonight. But for you, Nikki, this is your 3rd month at SC6, which makes you a success starter, which puts you in the freaking Autumn Calabrese test group, and you get a free ticket to Summit. So congrats, girl. Be on the lookout for all of the things that surround that. I know there's lots of emails, so be sure to check your spam box, right, ladies? Right. On the board for the month of July, congrats for helping any amount of people at all. I want to celebrate every single life. It's not just those of us who are helping 3 or more. I want to celebrate every single person. So Carolyn Dion at SC4, Kendall Phones at SC4, Paige Yorgi at SC4, Kayla Barnes at SC4, Leanna Morris at SC2, Michelle King at SC2, Sarah Kiefer at SC2, Mercedes at SC2, Layla Bryant at SC2, Karina Hutchison at SC2, Kim Cover at SC2, Haley Zarita at SC1, and Andrea Tucker at SC1. You guys, I think my biggest, and so I don't know if you guys have seen the Rise Up planner. It's the planner that I use every month. It's this huge honking thing that Moira created. I love it. But in the back, there's a section called Book of Proof. And you write down all the things that are happening in your life that are kind of like proof for yourself for on the bad days when everything feels like it's going to shit, that you can pull that back out and remind yourself that everything is actually not going to shit, that it's all falling into place. It just might not feel like that in that moment. And so guys, one of the things that I keep writing in there over and over is how grateful I am that our Success Club board is growing every single month. I feel like every single month, and I'm going to go back at some point and track them because I have them all downloaded. Every single month, guys, this board gets bigger and bigger. And it's not just about like this big ego thing, guys. These are actual human beings that we are helping, that we are impacting their lives, that we are changing their lives through health and fitness and community. And that is exactly where I want to be lined up with. So I'm just so grateful for this team and the lives that we're changing. For August, which is already here, this is, like I said, I can't believe it's already the 6th, although at the same time, I also feel like it's like the 26th. So weekly top 5, Carrie Summers, congratulations being at that top spot. Megan Pickup in number 2, Nikki Welch at number 3, Amanda Harold at number 4, and Layla Bryant at number 5. Congrats, ladies. I am super excited for you guys. The weekly top 5, just in case you don't know this, is compiled of people who are on the Success Club board usually who are recruiting coaches and who are making personal volume. So that means people are buying things from them, whether that's subscription services or not, doesn't matter. Those are all worth volume points, and those people are the volume and recruitment leaders for the week. So congrats, ladies. On the Success Club board already this month, Danielle Porter, myself at SC4, Carrie Summers at SC2, and Layla Bryant at SC2. So congrats. We're starting off slow this month, but that is okay. There is so much time to get on that board. I mean, I anticipate it looking like whatever that other one was. Anyways, can't go back. Emerald Coach Nikki Welch, congratulations. Like I said, I told you we would be celebrating you a lot tonight on this call. So congrats, girl. I am so excited to announce that you are an Emerald Coach. So y'all in the chat box, be sure to blow Nikki up with how excited you are for her. And guys, just to give you a little recap of what Emerald means you have 2 coaches up underneath of you who are active. Once you have those 2 coaches up underneath of you, you go into Emerald status, and that means that you have your Beachbody bank account open. It means that our team as a collective earns points, and the people who enrolled after Nikki are all earning points, and they're all going into this little bank account, which turns into dollars. If you are not enrolled and you are not doing this that way, you don't get a piece of that pot. So that's how, when we talk about when people talk about coaching and they're like, or they have an objection to coaching, they're like, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. No, it's not. We use what's called a binary system. We don't make money off of other people in our downline. I try to explain this a lot to people in the sneak peek, but I feel like it bears repeating here, just so that you guys can understand when you're sharing it with other people and they have that same concern, that we don't use that system. Basically, a pyramid scheme would be, I'll use you, Carrie, because you're right there and you're my personally sponsored coach. It means that when Carrie sells something, I get a percentage of what Carrie sells. That's not how this works. Carrie keeps all of her commission. I don't get any of Carrie's commission. Beachbody writes me a check, a weekly bonus, a team volume bonus for our collective team. And so with that said, that means that I don't earn any specific piece of any specific person. Neither do you, neither does Carrie, neither does Nikki. It means as a team, there's these volume pools that go into it, and we all collectively earn off of that as well. And that's a reflection of our team's growth and of your personal team's growth. So as we grow into Ruby and Diamond, those bonuses get bigger, means you're helping more people. So why advance to Emerald and earn SC10 or SC5? Like I mentioned, the people in July who were Emerald and earn SC10 or SC5 get paid or free leads. If you're SC5, you get free leads. If you're SC10, you get paid leads. Basically means Beachbody is handing you clients and customers. Paid means you get the commission. Free leads means they signed up for the free Beachbody on-demand account, didn't sign up with a coach, so you got them. And why advance to Diamond? Be a leader, build a team, increase your bonuses. And our team is pushing for 5-star Diamond this year, and you get to be a part of that. So really, really, really exciting times for our team. Couple of new coach must-knows, just in case you got confused or you're new here. Our core mission is to help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy, fulfilling life. And that is a very simple process. We're going to be talking about cutting the overwhelm tonight and really, really simplifying and narrowing down what we need to do. And guys, this is what I go back to every single week, because I feel like even myself, I need a reminder of this all the time. We need to know our why, because remember, Simon Sinek says we need to start with the why and the how comes, and I can attest to that. That's such an important feature of any business, not just ours. But our why is to help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy, fulfilling life. That's pretty much it. We're not here to do anything else. It's to get people healthy, and it's to help them achieve their goals, whether that be business goals or health and fitness goals, doesn't really matter. We're here to help them with that. So that really comes down to 4 things. Start your Beachbody challenge, right? So you need to get results like a boss, lean in. What does that mean? I went live in our challenge group yesterday. If you need to see a little Danielle rant and get a little fired up on that, please go ahead and just give that a listen and a watch. Actually, was that today? No, it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Either yesterday or today, one of the days, I went live in there and talked about the fact that we're making everything far more it was today, it was this morning. We're making everything more complicated than it has to be. Guys, this is what you do. Pick a program, print the calendar, do the calendar. That's pretty much it. If you do that and you trust the process, and you're doing the program, not just half-assing it or not just like here and there and everywhere, and you're compiling things all together and you got everything a jumbled mess. If you're just doing the program as it's written, you get the results. Like, it's pretty inevitable. So if you do that, it takes all of the guesswork out of it. Practicing the vital behaviors is the part 2 of this. And there are 4 vitals. Again, those are super easy. Be proof the product works every day. Connect, invite, and follow up. Get people results, which again, if you're just encouraging them to do the programs as written and not compile a bunch of random shit together, they get results too. Recognize them in the team page, shout them out, make them feel loved, and then do your personal development. That's pretty much it. And then the other 2 steps are helping 3 people, which is hitting SE6, signing up and doing our team training, which if you guys have not already gotten yourselves into the New Coach University, I'm asking you not only as a favor to yourself, because I mean, if you want to grow a business, you need to know what to do. That process gives you exactly what to do. The group that I put together is a replica of the number 2 in all of Beachbody coaching world's group. Like, it is not just my version of that. It is literally that system. She is popping like 4 to 10 diamonds a month, it feels like, in that group. I mean, every week she's popping a new diamond. So very clearly this system works if you do the system. So if we can just lean into that. I'm also asking you to do it as a favor to me, because I want feedback on it. I want to hear if this was way too much, it's way too complicated, can we cut down on the homework, does this video need to be there? I'm going to ask at the end of this 10 days for some of your particular feedback, because I want to hear how that goes for you guys and how you think it's serving our team, because I do want to know if it's serving our team. But anyways, if you want your own self-paced training, you can log into the team training website there. A couple of other little housekeeping announcements. We do have Coach Summit coming up in St. Louis 2021, which is exciting. I'm already looking forward to all of the travel in the summer of next summer. I want to travel so bad. But go ahead, and I guess this $150 price ended August the 2nd, but you can still go ahead and do that. If you're a brand new coach, you can earn this for free. So don't buy your ticket when you can earn it for free. So if you're within your first 3 months of coaching, you still have an opportunity to earn this for free. If you're past that and you did not earn it, no worries. Go ahead and get yourself a ticket, because we are all going to be there in July of next year. Sorry, there's a fly like right in front of my face. This is really, really, really exciting, you guys. I have so many people who are loving this pre and postnatal. If you are pregnant or you are postpartum, this is the program for you right now. I mean, maybe you're doing MBF and that's great. Like, keep doing what you're doing. But if you are not, if you are hardcore struggling and you feel like this, I just can't do anything other than survive, especially with a newborn, I really, really, really think, or you're pregnant, really think this is the solution for you. Elise is so encouraging and so just bubbly and kind-hearted. Love all that they're all under 30 minutes. I mean, they really are core strengthening and toning for postpartum. And then I know there's a lot of low back support and a lot of core support, because your core just isn't your belly, right? I mean, yes, your core makes up a lot of your belly, but when you're pregnant, your core is also your back. And if you've been pregnant, you know your back is always the first thing to be achy. And so this is going to help strengthen that as well. Really, really, really excited about that program. I will share tonight how I plan on marketing that through Team Cup Month through this month. Just to simplify that for you. Let's see. Okay, Team Cup. This is the same slide as last week. Just know that our team has 5 teams, which is really, really, really exciting. I'm incredibly proud of all of you guys for just taking the initiative to sign up. I know that this is kind of where I want to focus and talk about tonight with all of you guys, because I know there's a lot of overwhelm that comes with Team Cup Month. I mean, I felt it. I feel like I've probably been in 10, no, not 10. That feels like a lot, maybe too many. 7 different team cups throughout the years, 8 maybe, I don't know. Renee, give me just a second. And it always feels just a little overwhelming. like a little bit of added pressure that wasn't there the month before. But hopefully after tonight, you can take a deep breath and just breathe it out and just get past it, because it really does make you feel a little overwhelmed, and there's no cause for it. You don't need to feel overwhelmed. So we are going to crush the overwhelm together. Let's see. Renee, did you want to unmute? And oh, Sharon, yay, hi. Renee, did you want to unmute? Did you mean to raise your hand? Did you need something? Okay. Did not mean to raise your hand. That always happens. I feel like somebody somewhere always raises their hand, and I'm like, yes. And they're like, I didn't mean to raise my hand. So, guys, we're going to talk tonight about crushing the overwhelm. And that this stems out of Teen Cup, because I think sometimes it just feels like too much. I was talking to another coach who's not on our team today, and she had someone cancel their coach account today because it all felt like too much. The girl texted her, said, yep, canceled it, can't do coaching. It's all just too much. And I get it. I do. I think there's always a point when we start coaching. Sometimes it happens in the very, very, very beginning, and sometimes it happens later on. But where it just all feels too much, and it feels like, well, I've got to run this team, and I've got to run this boot camp, and I've got to maintain my own personal journey, and now I'm Emerald, and I have team bonuses, and maybe I need a newsletter, and and you feel like the swirl starts happening, and you cannot get out of it. Like I keep going back to it, just feels like too much. And I think even more than normal now, that's even harder, right? Like, because school is freaking wackadoodle, and the world is freaking wackadoodle, right? Like, you don't know here, there, or anything, what you're even supposed to be doing from day to day, what's allowed, where am I wearing a mask? Am I not wearing a mask? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? Like, it just all feels like too much. And so I wanted to share a couple of the things that has really, really, really helped me to kind of break out of that, and also to feel really productive every day, instead of feeling like you get to the end of the day and you're like, I did nothing, or the end of the month, even worse, the end of the month, and you're like, holy crap, the month is gone, and I accomplished nothing this month. That is one, I don't know if it's an Enneagram thing or what, but like, if it's an Enneagram 8 thing, I've got it, because like my least favorite feeling in the world is to feel unproductive, to get to the end of the day or the end of the week or the end of the month and feel like, what was that for? Like, I don't even know what happened. Nothing productive happened. I've really worked very hard on that, and I want to pass that down to you guys. So, we're going to do a couple of little things. So if you have pen and paper, that'll be helpful. If you don't, that's okay too. But I think that it will help you to actually do this instead of just like think about actually doing it. Because what I have found, a couple of things, is number one, overwhelm is a choice. You get to choose to fall down the spiral, or choose to not fall down the spiral, and choose to proactively move yourself out of that big spiral, like where it just feels like it started just a little bit and then it just keeps swirling and swirling and swirling. So choosing that, or making the choice that I'm not going to be overwhelmed. I might be busy right now. I might have a very full cup, a very full plate right now, but that does not make me overwhelmed. I feel like the more and more and more we like I don't want to say this, like we put words to it, where we keep reaffirming that to others, like, yeah, man, I just feel overwhelmed. Oh yeah. And then you run into somebody else like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm overwhelmed. And you keep perpetuating that, like the more and more and more you're going to feel overwhelmed. So making a choice here and now, drawing a line in the sand and saying, I can control what I can control, and I'm going to figure out what that is, and I'm going to move forward with that. And I'm going to choose to be proactive in this situation instead of reactive all the time. I think it's a really big thing for this. The second thing that I have found in the last couple of years that has really made a massive, massive difference for me is getting it out of my head. so much of the overwhelm is because you're stuck in your head. And I mean, I would propose that so much of anxiety, so much of all of the other negative emotions that we're experiencing, whether these are new for you, like I know I've had several conversations with you, some of you guys, that you're not anxious people. You've never struggled with anxiety before, but now since all of the quarantine and the upheaval in the world, you're like, I'm feeling anxious all the time. And I think some of that is because we're not interacting with one another on a person to person level. And so you aren't able to articulate that. A lot of it lives inside of your head. And I feel like that's where that nasty, like, I mean, for lack of better words, it's a nasty virus, perpetuates itself, and it just replicates and replicates until you're at the point where you can't get anything done. You don't feel like I said, you get to the end of the day and you're like, well, I survived. I breathed and I survived. And that's not really any way to live. I don't think anybody wants to stay permanently stuck there. Those days are going to happen. But kind of my goal when we go back to this why, like to help other people live healthy and fulfilling lives, healthiness lives inside of us too. It's not just our weight. That why is going to drive me insane. I'm sure you guys can like see buzzing back and forth. These drive me crazy. Is to help everybody move past that in their own mental health too, because health is not just one-sided, right? You can't just do a bunch of sit-ups and push-ups and crunches and beach body workouts and be a healthy person if you're not attending to your nutritional needs and you're not attending to your mindset and your personal development and all of that. It all kind of works synergistically together. So getting it out of your head is a really, really big thing. We're going to do 2 little writing things. So I'm actually going to set a timer and have us write. And they're not like journaling exercises or anything like that. One of them I've talked about a lot in my my boot camp, because it is seriously, I feel like the most sanity saving thing that I've learned through coaching. I actually learned this from, this was like 5 years ago. Chalene Johnson wrote a book called Push. And it's about pushing for your goals. And she, gives all these different techniques and all this different stuff about pushing for your goals. And one of the things she does is called a brain dump. And I thought, well, that's stupid. I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. Like, how many times have you said that to yourself, right? Like, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. But then again, because you know what you need to do, it's all trapped in your head and it all feels bigger than it is. It all feels like it's this massive amount of stuff, when if you can just, and I always think of Dumbledore in Harry Potter, where he has the wand and he like conceives stuff out of his head, and it's like this little wispy strand, and he puts it into these like bottles, and that's how he gets it out of his head, so he can get his head clearer. That's how I feel about this too. Like, sometimes you just got to get it out to see it on paper and to realize it's really not as big of a deal as we think it is. It's really not going to take that long to do these 5 things. We can just get them out of our head and you see them for what they are and be like, oh, okay. And then we can kind of attend to those. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to give us some time. So I'm going to set a timer. And I just want you guys to write down literally everything you can think of that you have to do, whether it's for Beachbody. I do want you to attend to your Beachbody stuff too. So don't like just transfer this, because if this is a part of your life, then you probably have tasks you need to do for this too. Whether that's, maybe you haven't even done your workout today. Like, write that down. If you need to invite 5 people, if you need to follow up with leads, if you need to, whatever it is. But also bigger stuff. Like, what do you need to do around the house? I mean, when I do this, sometimes it's like shave legs, wash dishes, reach out to 5 people, like just start writing and get all of it out, like as much as humanly possible out onto your piece of paper. So I am going to set a timer for us for 3 minutes, because it shouldn't take very long once you get going. So, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. That was really quick. All right. So that was really fast, 3 minutes. Did everybody feel like they got their list out? Did you need more time, or did you pretty much like have to start? I mean, for me, even though like it all came kind of rapid fire in the beginning, I had to start like looking around, like what else is there? Like, oh yeah, I need to pay that bill. And then I'd write it down, and then, oh, I need to check that off my list, that kind of thing. So hopefully your list isn't like 400 feet long. I know that it might be, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But one of the things that I want you to do, because the part of this list thing is, even if you're not a list maker, I feel like just, again, getting it out of your head helps you stop feeling like you're not getting all the things done. And putting it out on paper, you're like, oh, okay. So one of the things that you can do in that list, I'm going to tell you 2 different things you can do with that list. One of them is to go through and mark, maybe make a star or a circle or highlight or whatever, things that you can give to somebody else to do. Like one of mine is wash the dishes. I can give that to one of my kids. I can give that to my husband, like, and just say flat out, it would really help me if you would wash the dishes, because most of the time, especially if any of you guys are moms or wives, a lot of times we hold all that inside of us and we're like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this. Where if you just were to go to someone and ask and say, hey, it would really help me out if you could do this. Most of the time they're like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. They don't give you crap about it. They're like, yeah, sure. With your kids, maybe they'll give you crap, but oh well, like too bad, so sad. This is what you do. The other thing that you can do that I've found really, really, really helpful is to you can get 3 sticky notes. So if you have like a sticky notepad, I like to, the night before I go to bed, I like to write out the top 3 things that if I can get those 3 things accomplished the next day, then that will set me ahead. That will move the needle. That will make me feel productive. So I can go through that list and say, if I did these 3 things off of that list, what would make so many other things so much better. Like, it just will take a really big load off. And I think sometimes those are the things that we put off and put off and put off. And we just, it's like, those are the things that when you make your brain dump list tomorrow, it's the stuff that'll still be there. And then when you make the brain dump list on Saturday, it's still hanging in there. And you still feel like, oh my God, this list is never ending because you didn't do the things, like the main thing that you needed to do from the list. And so I would encourage you guys to do that. Give it a couple of days and do that every morning. This is an exercise, especially when I'm personally feeling overwhelmed, or I'm just feeling like I said, I keep going back to, it's all too much. This just feels like too much. These are the kind of things that really help me refocus and recalibrate myself to think, all right, no, like I actually do have some measure of control over this. And then the other thing you can do with this list is to look over it and just scratch off the things that just genuinely don't matter. Like, that you've been carrying around from list to list to list to list to list, and it just doesn't matter. Like, if that's, I don't know, Christmas cards. Guys, it's August. Scratch it off your list. Try again next year. Like, you don't have to keep carrying some of this baggage week to week to week. Like, if it's not going to do anything to enhance your life and it really isn't going to make any difference, take it off your plate. I loved, Jen Hatmaker wrote a book called For the Love a couple of years ago, and she has a concept in that book called On the Beam and Off the Beam. And she talks about how there's some seasons of your life where she goes back to like her time as a gymnast and trying to balance on that little thin balance beam. And she's like, in order for me to maintain this balance, there are things that I cannot carry on this beam with me. And that's okay. Like, even if they're things that would be really, really great if they got done, they just don't really matter in the end. And you can just say, like, for this season of my life, this is off the beam. Like, it just can't be a part of my life. So if there's any of that kind of stuff, like, go ahead and give yourself some grace and just take it off your beam. Especially if it's stuff that genuinely doesn't matter to you. Now, if it is stuff that genuinely matters to you, you've got to find a way to take care of it. I think about different commitments that I've made to different organizations and stuff like that, that I would love to say, like, oh, I can just take this off my beam. But the reality is those organizations, this team, there's lots of things like that. They really, really do matter to me. And it matters in the bigger sense of purpose, not just what makes my life easier today to take off the beam. And so I think getting really clear on your why, especially with coaching, really, really helps that. Like, why does this even matter to you? Why are you here in coaching? Why are you showing up for a team call, kind of thing? Really understanding that why makes it a lot easier to do the things that feel weighty to you. So the brain dump and then the 3 sticky notes is really kind of my easiest devices. I would love if there's anybody on here that has a really good way that they found that helps kind of clear that overwhelm. I'll give you a chance in just a minute to talk about that, but I kind of wanted to make sure that we attend to team cup stuff too. Because like I said, I think that added in this month has made a lot of people feel paralyzed. Like I said, I've had several kind of behind the scenes conversations and people are just like, it's just a lot and I feel really paralyzed and I don't really know what to do. And so if you're following along in our team page, on Tuesday, I posted about putting up a transformation. Let me get really clear in case you haven't done that. If you have done that, make a little check mark, you're all good. But if you haven't, guys, it's really easy. You don't have to do a sports bra and shorts. You can do a face. I loved Sharon's post with her face. I thought, man, what an incredible visual transformation of what 3-week yoga retreat and the nutritionals have done for you. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And you don't have to show your stomach. You don't have to show the booty lift. Like, it's just radiating from you and people are attracted to that. But the reality of this is it's a visual form of marketing. Marketing in and of itself is visual. You can hear a lot of stuff, but we are, as humans, a very visual people. And so you have to be able to see something. So getting over that hump of sharing that transformation, just take care of it. Put it at the top of your list for tomorrow if you haven't done it. There needs to be some way for you to share a transformation, because a lot of times our posts on a day-to-day basis are what gives us the trust to be able to talk to other people. Within this Team Cup, I was talking to a girl today who was like, well, I just feel salesy. Going and looking at her social media, she literally has nothing about her journey whatsoever. I mean, it's like photo of her kid, they went to the zoo, I don't know, they got a new car 2 months ago. Like, she hasn't posted hardly at all. She hasn't, like, there's no visual evidence on her social media that she's done anything with our boot camps or with health and wellness. So yes, it's going to feel salesy when you text someone and say, hey, I started doing this boot camp 2 months ago. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, I've never seen anything about this. So that daily act of showing up on social media, while it might feel silly and like mundane and, oh, I got to make another post, what it's doing is building trust with the people that with your network. And so that way, when you go to invite them, it makes sense. They're like, oh yeah, I saw your post about that. And you can use the verbiage. I don't know if you saw my post about my new boot camp or not, because again, that's just another way to introduce a conversation. So go ahead and put that transformation post up. I know that it sucks. I know that it's vulnerable. Like, I don't know what else to say other than just get over yourself. Like, there are people to be helped, and you've got to get over yourself if you're ever going to do anything with this. So put the post up. Show the visible progress. Again, that doesn't have to be a photo of you in a bathing suit. It can be your face if there's visible change there, like maybe it's your relationship with your spouse. You finally feel confident and sexy or whatever. It doesn't matter. The transformation needs to be shown. So be sure to share that. And then the simple process behind that is going through and reaching out to those people. Hey, thanks so much. I posted a post yesterday in our team page, gave you exactly what to say. And Sharon, I'm going to throw you under the bus here too, because I think that you are doing this. You're just doing the program. It's really not hard when you just follow instruction. You're being incredibly coachable. You're doing the process. So then Sharon reaches out. Okay, I have, I think you sent 12 yesterday, 12 messages to people who had, clicked like or commented or whatever. Thanks so much for the love on my transformation post. It's always uncomfortable to share this kind of stuff, but if it helps one person, I'm really glad I did it. Would you like me to send you some information on the boot camp? You said about half of those people got back to you with something, and about half of those people said, yeah, I'll take some information about it. Okay, what do I send? So I think that yours is textbook, and half of the people that you send a message to will respond to you in some way. Half of those will respond, they all generally will respond positively, but when I say they respond positively, meaning they want more information. And again, if my statistics are pretty average, which I feel like they are, about half of those will continue the conversation further into getting a share a cart sent, et cetera, et cetera. So you're looking at half, right? Like half. So if you're only reaching out to 2 people and half of those people engage you in some way, that's 1. And half of that person says, yes, I want more information, that's none. You've got to do more volume. And so I know that feels like, oh my God, you just told me to do less, but now you're telling me to do more. When you get into the rhythm of just posting and then following that post with a private message, and then following that with sending them more information, it all becomes kind of systematic, and it all becomes very, very, very simple. It's just a little funnel process, right? Like, so when Sharon asked, okay, she said, yeah, I want to know more. What do I send her? So I always send them the first question I send them is, awesome, I'm excited you want to know more. Tell me more about your goals. What are you doing now for workouts and nutrition? I always push the spotlight back on them, because just throwing them this word vomit diarrhea of, oh my God, I love the boot camp so much, and it's amazing, and there's meal plans, and there's workouts, there's 1,100 workouts, and you can do this, and you can do this. Immediately people are like, no, I'm good. Thanks so much. Too much information, word vomit. Like, no. Simplify it. What are their goals? What are they looking for? What do they need? Because then you're going to match them with what they need, and you can streamline your communication to get them the info that they need. So the message that I sent Sharon was, ask them their goals. Hey, that's awesome. What are your goals with health and fitness? What are you doing right now? They send back, oh, well, I was going to the gym, and, the gym's closed now, and we have to wear masks, and blah, 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 da, 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 da. They're going on and on and on. Great. So then you send them a message back after that, addressing their need. Like, well, is there a kind of workout that you really, really like? Because we have like 1,100 different things. So I don't want to send you all of the information. And so again, you're already looking like a professional because you're streamlining what they need. And she's like, well, I really loved that boxing class I was taking. Like, man, I felt so powerful. I felt so good. That's amazing. We have one of the programs is a boxing program. It's 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day. Does that sound like something that might interest you? Yes. Wonderful. Here are your enrollment options. And then I always send them that PDF that I have it's not even a PDF. I think it's a JPEG, but like the image that I have in our team page, but you can also go to teamnourished.com/join. And it's the exact same thing. I just made one for the team that wasn't branded for Team Nourished so that you weren't directing people to my website, but I'm not going to take people. And there's no direct link for them to enroll using that anyway. But it breaks it down into fitness only, fitness and nutrition, nutrition only. And then I always direct them to a package. And what's amazing right now with MBF is that it comes with both the nutrition and the fitness. So I usually enter into that conversation as well. Like, well, hey, and just so you know, right now, the nutrition and fitness, the all-inclusive is actually all inside of the fitness only one. So you don't even have to do the upgraded charge. Oh, and also I have a $20 off code for the first 3 people that enroll with me this month. Then we move forward. Okay, yeah, Sharon, I do want to enroll with you. Like, that sounds amazing. I would love to do that boxing program. Sweet. Well, I just need your email and your flavor preference. Do you like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, coffee, or a mix of both? Or a mix? I really love chocolate. Or what's your favorite, Sharon? I love vegan chocolate. Great. Let me send you over your cart right now. You make a share a cart. You send them said share a cart. You send it as a coach. So they're enrolling as a coach. And you copy and paste that verbiage from our team page, which I've referenced 64,000 times, right? Like, and it just goes through and says like, hey, just so you know, it'll say coach. Just know that that's because we're a health and fitness company. That's preferred customer. It gives you your discount if you're going to continue to use the products after the first month. Costs the same to enroll that way, and it's just as easy to cancel. There's no obligations or anything like that to it. Great. Bada bing, bada boom, Sharon enrolls a new person. Bada bing, bada boom, Sharon enrolls 2 people. Now Sharon's enrolled. Sharon continues using the system week after week after week after week, and guess where Sharon is at the end of the year? Sharon has made an income with this. Sharon is most likely diamond. Sharon is where she wants to be with this. You know what I mean? Like, I think, again, we get all of these like, oh, I have to make a brand and I have to do this and I have to do, like, no, you don't. Narrow in on what we have to do to get people enrolled and then to get them results. That was, and I'll kind of end with this. Jessica Griffin, who is like one of my coach, like, I just absolutely love her. She's a coach on our upline team. I think she hit 15-star diamond this year, which is like, it's called superstar diamond. It's like one of the biggest things you can possibly do. I think there's only like 80 people who have ever hit that in all of Beachbody or something like that. It's not very many at all. She posted a post that I thought was so beautiful this week. And she talked about how I never got into this to recruit people. I never wanted a bunch of working coaches. What I wanted was to help people get health and fitness results. And that's what I've done. And that's what I will continue to do. 15-star diamond, brand new coach. All I ever want to do is help someone get physical results that they want to get out of this. Everything else happens as a byproduct of getting people physical results. we overcomplicate it. We think about ads and we think about algorithms and we think about this and that. Like Jessica, I think she has like, I don't even know, like 4,000 Instagram followers, and she's one of our top coaches in the entire network. Like she didn't have 1 million followers. She's not some kind of like marketing guru. I don't even think she has an assistant. Like she might have I know her husband does her like financials in this, but that's it. So she genuinely is working this business from the bottom up. And that's where I feel like our team really thrives, is how can I help someone get results? Because that's where this business is built. That's where all of that noise gets really clear and focused. How can I help the next person get physical results? How can I help the next person feel better? How can I help the next person feel worthy? How can I, you know what I mean? Like that's just our mentality. And I feel like if we run our businesses that way, we can't lose, guys. Every other milestone along the way will just happen as a byproduct of our heart. And so that's kind of my crush the overwhelm speech for you guys tonight. I would love kind of just an open discussion. I would love just to hear where you guys are and where, you know, if you were feeling less overwhelmed now, or if I was trying to read Leanna's to struggle giving people things to do that are on their list. Yes, they do, Leanna. Yes, they do. But you just got to. You just have to ask for help, because nobody can do all this together, like by themselves. It's just, who wants to either? Like, I don't want to be 5-star diamond or elite or 30,000 star diamond if I'm doing it by myself. That sucks, guys. I want to do it with a team of people. Like, that's so much more fun and so much better. But that takes vulnerability on my part, and that takes me opening up myself to us, you know, and working together as a team. So just unmute yourself. Tell me how things are. Tell me what you're struggling with. If this was helpful, if you feel like, yeah, that list was great, or that list made me feel so much worse. You want to call on people if someone doesn't unmute themselves.
Since you gave me so many shout outs, I thought I'd start. I think the list has been really helpful. I think where I get a little bit confused is like what I'm gonna do next. Like I don't mind posting things. I found other ways to post things so that I don't have to always post my body, because I'm not really confident in that. I'm not ready to share that part of my journey. Maybe down the road in a year or two, maybe. I feel confident to do that, but right now I'm not. But I like to take like what I used to eat and then do what I'm eating now, so people can see that these are your choices now on this program. And I think people really respond to that. But
yeah, they do. I think you're spot on. Yeah. I mean, I think it's really easy to get pigeonholed in this idea that we have to share. We only have to share one way. There's lots of ways to share, and there's lots of ways to add value. You know, I will say that people connect more to human, like when it's, I think there's a really good mix of all of it. You know, you can't just have selfie, 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 selfie. But if you can incorporate that slowly, I think you'll find that people respond really well to your face, or, you know, they just see themselves in you, you know? So I think that's great. And you do, to me, I think you do a great job of sharing. So
I do a great job of sharing. I just can't get anybody to join me.
but it's a work in progress. So
that's not what I'm doing it for. So I don't really, maybe I could try harder. I don't know.
Well, but I mean, I feel like you're being coachable now, and you're being responsive. And I think it's really easy, number one, to tell ourselves a story about, I'm not good at that. I don't do that. Like we tell ourselves the story that we've created, and realizing that maybe there's another way. I had a really difficult conversation with a coach recently. And unfortunately it didn't turn out very well. She was on our team. She's no longer on our team, and I'm not going to like dime her out or anything, but it came down to ego. I'm going to do it my way. And if it doesn't work my way, then I'm just not going to do it. All right. I don't know how to help you then. Like if you don't want to be coachable and you don't want to even give someone else's perspective a try, it's going to be really hard to move forward. But if you can begin to be coachable, like we're talking about here, Sharon, if you can begin to be coachable and you can and it's not like, oh my God, I have to do it just the way Danielle does, but it's starting to adopt those new processes in a new and different way, you might find success in a way that you never realized you could find success. But if you continue to do it over and over and over in a way that is unsuccessful, and you just like, la, 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 I'm not going to do it anybody else's way but mine, you know, at what point are you just a tantruming toddler? Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I think about my kids. You don't want me to teach you how to tie your shoes. Okie dokie. We're gonna watch. How's that working for you, Eden? I've tied my shoes for a long, long time now, sweetheart. How's that working for you? You like, you know, and I think that there's just a lot of humility in learning how to do anything that you're not used to doing, you know?
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your help. So.
Always. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're a team. And I also think it's really relevant to talk about the fact that not every person that's successful in this does it the exact same way. But there are some successful things that happen, like that are a common thread. Like I'll tell you, in all of my years of doing this, I've never met a single person who's successful at this that doesn't invite someone. Like, okay, you don't want to invite. All right, but you want a business. Okay? Like, or post on social media at all. I run into that a lot. I don't want to post on social media. Like, but I'm going to be successful at this, and I'm going to hit those big goals, and you're like, oh, all right. Like, there's some common threads that just are business things that have to happen. And so it's interesting to see for me anyway, the humility process that I feel like God has brought into my life through this, and reminding Enneagram 8 Danielle that she doesn't know everything about everything, and maybe someone else knows something about something too. So yeah. Caroline, did you want to say something? Or Carolyn, sorry.
I was just going to ask, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was going to ask, like, you were talking about selfies, and I feel like I do a lot of selfies, especially on my Instagram page that didn't post to my Facebook page. Are there other suggestions on things to post? I mean, like, clearly you can post about Shakeology, but like, what else can I post about, like, other than just my workouts? Because I feel that, like, that's all I'm posting about right now.
Right.
But part of it is also because of going through a divorce. Mm-hmm. I'm very cautious about what I'm putting out there right now, because I don't need it to be used in court against me. So absolutely. I'm in this like really hard place right now of trying to figure out what the best way to post on Instagram and Facebook is.
Right. So I would consider, and maybe other people have different perspectives of this, but I consider there to be 3 triads of health, right? So your physical fitness, which you're great at sharing that, right? Your nutrition, and your mental health, your resiliency, the personal development side of things. When I first started coaching, this was 6 years ago in November, the way Facebook worked was whoever posted the most won the race. That is not the case anymore. That's not Facebook's like magic sauce. You post too much, they're like, no, girl, you need to settle down. So I'm always a big advocate for 1 post a day and then rotating them out. So if you are reading a book and you come across a really great quote that is like touching your soul, that's a great thing to share. Maybe that's something you want to incorporate into your thing. Again, nutrition is really easy. Like, really wanted to go to McDonald's and eat a triple cheeseburger tonight, but instead I made cheeseburger salad from home. Great job. You're going to encourage people. And then pepper in the other things, you know, as far as like sharing your life and what's going on in that. I understand that like you're in a sticky situation right now, but I will say, I don't think that you are off base, like just watching your social media in general. I mean, you're posting about your kids and your pool and house things, and you're posting about your life. So you are doing that. I think it's, as far as like fitness and hard posts go, I would start peppering in some stuff about nutrition and just some more well-rounded health. So, you know, again, if you're reading a great book, and you can always ask, like, what are you guys reading? You know, getting people to engage is a big part of social media now, like getting those conversations back and forth and back and forth. So
Perfect. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. I think that's a great question. What else? Anybody else? Got a few more minutes. Ms. Carrie, you got anything you want to contribute?
Not really. That hasn't kind of already been touched. I did have a thought, but it escaped me.
No. Well, I mean, I think that I don't know, I just was really affected by the brain dump situation. Like that was really, really helpful to me when I learned how to do that. And it's one of those things. I was talking to somebody else today about, they're just going through a really tough time and life is just crazy. And number one, I think anybody that thinks their life is craziest right now needs like a super reality check. Like, guys, everyone's life is crazy. It's not a contest. Nobody's trying to out crazy anybody else. Like, we're all dealing with a lot of shit. But the reality is, the very first thing to go when life is crazy is your self-care. It goes out the drain as quick as humanly possible. And for me, even quicker than that is personal development. I can maintain my workouts, but my internal mental goes like that. And so after I murder my children for screeching, I'm going to do some personal development because they're driving me crazy with the screeching outside my window. But no, for real, I think that the personal development, because can y'all hear that? It is awful. It's like ear piercing. And I'm on the second floor. I feel like you guys have got to be able to hear that. So anyways, but just, I feel like doing that brain dump every morning, that's a part of personal development. It's a part of your mindset in the morning, is just to get it all out and to flush it clean. And that way you can deal with what's actually in front of you instead of all of this, like, just, I don't know, my mom's famous saying was making a mountain out of a molehill. You know, you made it into this gigantic thing that you feel like you can't barely even get out of bed for. But if you can just get it out and look at it for what it is, it's really not that big of a deal. So, all right, you guys. Well, it is 3 o'clock my time, so I am going to hop off of here. Does anybody have any closing things they want to say?
I just have one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you can see me if I'm running out, but
yeah.
Something I do for my personal self-care is I created a list of goals that I want to accomplish every single day. It's really silly. It's like, I have to wear a BiPAP when I go to sleep now. It's this new thing I have to do. So did I wear my BiPAP? Did I drink my shake? What is my weight today if I weigh that day? What time did I wake up? And what time did I actually get out of bed? Not just when did I wake up, but when did I get out of bed? Because sometimes I'll just lay there for an hour and it's not very productive.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like a personal thing that I've been doing to keep track of myself. And I don't know if that helps anyone else, but it's just part of my own self-care.
I love that.
Things that I need to concentrate more on so that I actually do what I need to do, take care of me.
That's perfect. Well, and to me, Sharon, that's something to share. You know, that's not just going to help us, but like how many people are in your network? You know, I say network, but I mean like Facebook friends lists, social media friends, that they just need that step. That didn't cost you anything to share that. You know, like these are the little things that have helped me move the needle forward. That, like you said, if you can just feel like you did that, you can breathe a little easier during the day. So
when I add like, what's your mantra for the day? And then all the things I'm grateful for today. So I don't know.
Oh yeah. Gratitude practice is huge. Huge. I mean, to me, that shifts the perspective on all of the things. So I love that. All right, you guys. Well, I am here. And if anyone needs anything for Team Cup or whatever, I want to help our team be successful and help all of the people this month. So I hope you guys all have a good rest of your night, and I'll talk to you later. Good night.